The Nemesis Claw kill team is formed from the most savage and psychotic warriors of the Night Lord's Legion, embodying the Legion's legacy of terror. These Chaos Space Marines excel in picking off victims from afar or ruthlessly eviscerating foes in close combat. Driven by sadistic tendencies, they are fearsome operatives who thrive on spreading pain and chaos, making them diabolical enemies in any battle. Hello my friends, my name is Max, and today we are going to build some Night Lord miniatures. As some of you might be aware, Night Lords have been voted as the best miniature of the year, following by Provisionally Prepared, which was number 2 on this list, and we have built this mini before. Number 3 was Inner Circle Companions, which we are progressing through from the Battle Force box from last year. Number 4 was Celestian Sacrosanct Evelyn, that we have built last year. And of course, number 5 is Asmodai, Master of Repentance, that was built in last video. I found him under my Christmas tree. Today we're building a Night Lord Heavy Gunner. I'm gonna build this lads from Kill Team Nightmare, which I conveniently have in my possession. And keep in mind that Kill Team Nightmare, if you want to use these lads in Kill Team, you have 2 options of the Heavy Gunner, and you can only use one in your Kill Team. So keep this in mind. I'm gonna be building this one with the Heavy Bolter, but there is also another one which is with a rocket launcher of some sort. And you can only take one of those lads in your Kill Team at a time. You might still want to build both of them to use one or another, depending on the situation, but you cannot use both of them in the same game. Just keep this in mind. And we're gonna build this fine chap. Before we begin, let me really quickly remind you some important things about these instructions. Basically, what we see here is that we're gonna build miniature following instruction set 11. We're gonna use instruction subsets A and D, and we can build or field, it is not really about building, it is about fielding in the team, up to 1 of these minis. So we can build none, or we can build 1. Same goes for this Night Lord Gunner, that is built from the same base as this one. And same goes for this Night Lord Warrior, which is also gonna be using the same base as these 2 lads, namely this instruction set. But you can build up to 5 warriors, and that is why they say less or equal than 5. So it's either a warrior, or a gunner, or a heavy gunner that is gonna be built from instruction set number 11. Without any further ado, let's start. And we start with these instructions. So we're gonna build a torso, and then we're gonna customize the torso, which is in gray in this instruction set, with the pink beads that are specific for heavy gunner. Let's start with 62 and 63, that's our parts of the torso. This is my bead 62, and this is back of the torso number 63. Note that it is on a separate sprue. Both beads are cleaned up now. Let's see how they should be sitting together. Should be somewhat like this. Let's glue them. I'm gonna put some glue here. Here we go. This is our torso so far. Next, we need to find the front part of the torso, the chest plate 64. This is my bead 64. The chest plate is cleaned up. Let's see where it should be sitting. Should be along these lines. And it is fairly straightforward to glue it. Here we go, and this is our chest plate in place. Next, let's find the backpack 139. This is the backpack 139. As you can see, the backpack 139 is a little bit special because it has this area for additional ammo. Alright, let's see how it should be assembled. It should be sitting over here like this, very, very straightforward. I'm gonna put some glue, and I am going to glue it to the body. And this is our torso with the backpack, or at least part of the backpack. Now we need to put the torso at the base of 32 millimeters. This is my base over here. Let's check if it looks good. It does. And let's put this lad on the base. As always, I'm trying to drop him on a base in a way that his head is gonna be roughly in the middle. And this is how our lad looks so far. And now we have finished all the general assembly instructions that are gonna be common for all three variants of this miniature. And we skip to the subset D, and it was a subset A. Our D is gonna be this area, 11D. Let's start with the heavy bolter. We need bits 65, 68, and 69. This monstrous bit is number 65. This is bit number 68. And this is clearly bit 69. All three bits of heavy bolter are cleaned up. Let's see how they should be combined together. Let's start with this one. Should be along these lines. Looking very, very, very nice. I'm gonna glue it. That is it. And now these bits should be sitting over here. You can see there is a kind of like 3-pin lock. I'm gonna glue it. I really like some chaos markings on the heavy bolter over here. And this heavy bolter is state of the art. It is really amazing. Look, it even has some degradations signs over here. There is isolation removed over here. This cable is torn. It was clearly attached to something, but now it is not. And it seems like this whole heavy bolter is being powered by some sort of chaos forces instead of electricity or something like that. That is really, really, really cool. Okay, we need to attach this to a hand. We are gonna be looking hand 67. This is my hand 67. This is the hands that should be holding the heavy bolter. Should be along these lines. Yeah, I'm gonna try to glue it. Don't put too much glue, because this area is very, very small. These are the firstborn Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines are old and not as large as Primaris Space Marines. That is why they have smaller bits. I'm gonna give some rest to this hand with a heavy bolter. And in the meanwhile, I will find another hand 66. This is my hand 66. And I just noticed that I made a mistake. 66 should be here and 67 should be here. It's not too late to undo this. I'm just gonna put this hand over here like this. I'm gonna put some glue on this area. I'm gonna put another hand over here immediately. So this is 67. It should be attached here like this. And 66 should be attached here like this. There we go. Now it makes more sense. Okay, let's give this whole setup some rest. We will be able to glue this a bit later. And let's go and find the backpack number 70. Actually, part of the backpack. This is bit number 70. Bit 70 is cleaned up. It is supposed to be combined somehow with the backpack. Let's see. I think this is the top. Should be sitting like this. Let's glue it. I'm gonna put some glue over here. Here we go. And this is my backpack. Alright, let's take a look at the hands now. They should be sitting over here like this. And this is one of those parts that might require partial assembly. If you're a really careful painter, keep this in mind. You might want to assemble this part after you paint the torso and the bolter from this side. I myself don't care that much. That is why I'm just gonna glue it immediately. And in this position, I'm gonna put some glue over here and over here. I'm gonna wait for a couple of seconds. And I am going to try to attach the arms. And I think this is how it should look like. So he is pointing his heavy bolter somewhere, looking incredibly cool. This is the torso. And we proceed to
heads and the shoulder pads. Let's do the shoulder pads 2 and 3. And that means that we have to select our options. The number 2 should be on the left, number 3 should be on the right. Let's not mix them up. And these are number 2, and these are number 3. Let's take a look. Bits 2 look more or less the same, apart from the fact that these ones, 46, 47, and 49, should be probably used for the melee options, because they have the forward-looking part, but not the backwards-looking part. So I think I'm just gonna go with any other of those. I think in my case, number 35 looks good enough for me. Alright, as we said, number 2 should be on the left over here. And let's see how it should be sitting. It should be sitting along these lines, and I'm gonna glue it. I will glue them one by one because I am a little bit concerned that I will mix them up, as I did with the hands. New Year's celebration apparently made me a little bit less careful. There we go. This is the left pauldron, and now to the right one, number 3. As you can see, we have a lot of options over here. Since this is a heavy weapons guy, I really like this very aggressive 93 with fangs and whatnot. It's actually quite peculiar that 93 on a sprue over here, 93, is called 96 in the instruction set. I have no idea why. Don't ask me. So if you're looking for 93 in instruction set, it's 96 there. This is my pauldron. 93/96 looks incredibly cool, and it should be sitting on this shoulder. I'm gonna glue it. Very scary looking pauldron, and it looks amazing on our miniature. Now the only thing that is left is the head, and we selected from set 1, namely from all these heads. As you can see, we have two kind of heads here, more Night Lords looking ones with the wings, and more generic looking ones with horns and whatnot. I think we're gonna go with one of the winged ones. After careful examination, I think I like the heads 44 most, and I'm gonna use this one. This is our head. I'm gonna drop it here like this. He is clearly supposed to look in the general direction of his heavy bolter. That is why it should be somewhat along these lines. And I'm gonna glue it. And I think this is how he is gonna look like. Pointing with a heavy bolter on his left, probably shooting. Very, very cool miniature. This mini looks incredibly cool. I had a blast building it. I would give it 5 skulls out of 5 for the fun of building it, and 5 out of 5 for the easy to assembly part. Surprisingly easy to build. Apart from the mess with the arms, which was totally my mistake, there was nothing really peculiar about this miniature. This guy carries a heavy bolter, and I don't think he has anything else. He is a specialist in Kill Team Nightmare. It took me roughly 40 minutes to build this mini really carefully. I am very satisfied with the end result. Let's take a look at how this mini compares to some other miniatures. We start, of course, with Night Lord's Visionary, which is leading this kill team. As you can see, he has a very similar posture, very similar size, same kind of heads, a little bit more decorated, and of course this mini is more fancy than the usual heavy gunner, but they look very organic with each other on the battlefield. You can say that they are from the same warband. They look incredibly cool. Another miniature that we have built before is a Fearmonger from the same kill team. Even though he wears a hood and has some daggers here and there, you can say they are from the same legion and from the same warband. The stylistics is exactly the same. They look very organic next to each other. That is really, really, really cool. And we compare this miniature with the Chaos Lord on foot that we have built before. You can see that the Chaos Lord looks taller because of the tactical rock, but other than that, you can recognize that these are the Chaos Space Marines. Of course, the Chaos Lord is more ornate, and has huge horns and everything. But these guys are gonna look incredibly cool in one army because of the very similar kind of stylistics, armor elements, spikes here and there. They look amazing together. And I think this is, my friends, all we have for today. No wonder that this miniature set was voted on Games Workshop official voting as miniature of the year. Actually, the whole kill team was miniature of the year. These Night Lords look incredibly cool. You can use them for your custom Night Lords army. I think it's probably a little bit more on expensive side of things if you want to field them as Night Lords. But for the kill team, the price is more or less standard, to the best of my knowledge. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what do you think of these minis. Do you like the new Night Lords? Did you build them? Did you field them? Let me know. And I will see you guys in one of the next videos. Max is out. Take care. Bye.